We will now begin the regular press conference by Foreign Minister Motegi. The floor is yours, Minister. One item to report to you regarding overseas voting. A few hours ago, the House of Representatives was dissolved. In conjunction with the 51st general election of the House of Representatives, voting at diplomatic missions, including embassies and consulates general around the world, will commence on January 28th, Wednesday, the day after the official announcement. We request Japanese nationals overseas to confirm notices issued by the diplomatic missions for details such as the period of voting. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs will engage in public relations activities to encourage Japanese nationals overseas to vote, thereby promoting their active and appropriate participation in the upcoming general election. That's it from me.
Please raise your hand if you have any questions, and if you're called upon, please come forward to the closest microphone and please identify yourself with name and affiliation. Azuhari-san.
What is Japan's position on the recent elections conducted in Myanmar that were reportedly conducted in a transparent way with many international observers attending? Additionally, are the sanctions still being implemented on Myanmar as a solution to achieve diplomatic goals? Thank you.
It is regrettable that the Myanmar armed forces has not taken sufficient actions toward the political progress that Japan and the international community has repeatedly demanded, such as the release of the detainees, as well as to have a sincere dialogue with the stakeholders with regard to general election. Voting is planned to continue until the end of January. By conducting the elections in this way, we are gravely concerned that it will invite further divide among the people of Myanmar and make it difficult to resolve the issues peacefully. Now, on the point about the sanction, Japan is not imposing sanctions on Myanmar.
Next question, please. Tadokoro-san, Mainichi Newspaper. Regarding the overseas voting, which you mentioned at the outset, I think 19 overseas votings have taken place. But due to several limitations of the voting centers being overseas, the voting rate has not been so high. But the upcoming election will be the shortest ever in history in terms of the election period, and there are concerns that voting rate will remain low. What do you think about securing appropriate period for voting? True that in comparison to the domestic ballot centers, the period or the voting rate in diplomatic missions tends to be low. Overseas voting rates tend to be low. But even inside our country, the period up to the voting day will be short. So, as I mentioned in the opening remarks, we will engage in communication to notify the voting period and the system so that as many overseas Japanese nationals will vote.
Next question, Azuhari-san, Pan-Orient News.
Again, Pan-Orient News. What is Japan's position on the latest clashes in Yemen and Sudan? There were some separatists also. Thank you.
You talk about Yemen and Sudan. With regard to Yemen, since last December, situations in the eastern and southern regions of Yemen has deteriorated and the unstable situations continues. We have concern. As for the government of Japan, We've been consistently supporting the political resolutions through the dialogue with the people of Yemen, and we would like to continue with UN as well as other countries so that we can realize the peace and stability in Yemen. And in Sudan, it is difficult to foresee the improvement of the circumstances, and we have a great concern that the situation is worsening. Japan, along with other G7 nations as well as the countries concerned, has been working for the respect of the human rights, easing tensions, immediate and permanent ceasefire, as well as improvement in the humanitarian assistance access. And through these initiatives, we will work for the improvement of the situations in Sudan.
Next question. Yamamoto-san, NHK. Yamamoto, NHK. The House of Representatives has been dissolved, so it's the commencement of the election race. You will be touring the nation for campaigning. Specifically, what's the most important message you wish to deliver? Yesterday, there was the commencement of the new party, so there are comparisons against the biggest political force. But what's your thought? From Tuesday next week, we will begin the pre-election period, but I also have official duties as the foreign minister, so I will prioritize those official duties as a foreign minister, but at the same time to be able to make contacts whenever necessary. And after the commencement of the election race, I will be supporting the candidates all over the nation. Under the Takaichi administration, we are trying to transform policies boldly. So we want to secure the trust of the people of this nation in order to respond to the resolution of challenges in this country and other countries. Stability of the administration is not the goal, but the means. And the objective is bold reform, measures against inflation, expansion of investment. These are the objectives. And for example, even without raising the tax rate, it's possible to increase tax revenues. And we need to have a system and regime in place for us to enable to take several policies that are necessary. So we wish to promote policies with responsibility. And when we look at the international situation, we are in very harsh security situation, which the whole world is suffering, especially in the regions around Japan. So in order for us to take effective diplomacy, stable government is necessary. So we will seek to secure stability. But this is the press conference as the foreign minister. So regarding specific policies, we will try to communicate the necessary policies. If there are no more questions, this will be the end of today's press conference. Thank you for your attendance.